You've been mentioned as a possible vice president for Donald Trump. Had you been vice president on January 6th, would you have certified the election results?
Oh, George, this is such a ridiculous question, in part because the law has changed here.
Ridiculous question, says JD Vance. JD Vance, who, as was pointed out by Stephanopoulos, would love to be the VP, would love to be in the position that Mike Pence was in when he was receiving pressure from that same president, Donald Trump, to just ignore the law, ignore the Constitution, and deliver a win to the guy that America rejected. It is ridiculous from the point of view of JD Vance, because like, come on, George. Why are you asking me questions like this? You know I'm going to side with Trump over democracy, but now I got to do this hullabaloo, blah, 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 the law has changed. Well, the law has changed only insofar as it was necessary for some reason to clarify that the vice president doesn't actually get to pick who becomes president. Most people seem to already understand that. Most senators, I think, already understood that. There were some Republicans and former presidents named Donald Trump who didn't get that. So it had to be clarified. But the role of the VP has not changed at all. So let's just be very clear about that. That said, before we jump into commentary, I want to give you a little bit more of the back and forth about this issue and what potential role JD Vance would play in coup number 2. Take a look at this.
Do I think there were problems in 2020? Yes, I do. Do I think it was a problem that big technology companies working with the intelligence services censored the presidential campaign of Donald Trump? Yes. Do I think it's a problem that Pennsylvania changed its balloting rules in the middle of the election season in a way that even some courts in Pennsylvania have said was illegal? Yes, I think these were problems, George, and I think there is a political solution to those problems. If I had been vice president, I would have told the states like Pennsylvania, Georgia, and so many others that we needed to have multiple slates of electors, and I think the US Congress should have fought over it from there. That is the legitimate way to deal with an election that a lot of folks, including me, think had a lot of problems in 2020. I think that's what we should have done.
So to be very clear, if he had been in that position, he would have said, F you law, F you Constitution, we're just gonna give it to Trump. We're just gonna do that, bye-bye America. You're done. And do I think it's a problem that JD Vance would participate in a coup? Yes, I do. Do I think it's a problem that JD Vance, who pitched himself back in the day as a never Trumper, eventually got around to the fact that, oh, they really like Trump, he's not going anywhere, so I guess I just believe whatever he says? Yes, I believe that that's a problem. Do I think it's a problem that he is pretending to think that the 2020 election was illegitimate when he knows it was not? He is lying to you, Trumpers. He does not actually believe that. Yes, Francesca, I believe that is a problem too. What do you make of JD Vance?
Oh, John, don't make me respond to this question. You know I'm a coward.
Ridiculous.
I'm a sniveling, opportunistic coward. Like, it's just and it is terrifying. What starts to be sort of funny and ridiculous, truly, as you outline there, is terrifying, because he then says, no, I thought there were a lot of problems with it, and I would have sent it back to the states, created his own new law, which, mind you, John, we were there. We covered this. We covered the 2020 election. It's not like this all happened in a day. It didn't even happen in a week. It was months. There were so many court cases that they all lost. There was nothing to stand on. So that when they finally, when they finally actually had to transfer power, certify the election, that even the senators that were super Trumpy were there's nothing here. They wanted something to be there. They super did, but there was nothing there. But it is very scary that effectively what he's saying is, yes, I would have done that. And a lot of these Republicans just needed a little bit more shred of evidence. Again, we were all waiting for the fabricated, truck of ballots to have been found in a ditch. Oh, Giuliani's just there, writing in little ballots with crayon. But there wasn't anything there. Still good on Stephanopoulos, right? And I know he goes even harder, but
pushing back, it was good. And a little bit more evidence, I would say, or any evidence that it was illegitimate, then they would have ran with it. Or let's be clear, pretext. If the insurrectionists had gotten in had killed a few Congress people or whatever, then Trump could have declared martial law. He would declare all of them as Antifa provocateurs, by the way. Fox News would immediately jump on that, even though they know it's not true. And he would say, with all of this uncertainty, we're gonna have to throw it back to the states. And what do you know? I'm president for the next 4 years. Like that was the plan. Yeah. That was what they wanted. They didn't get it that time, but perhaps next time. Or perhaps not, because as JD Vance is laying out, I guess Kamala Harris can just decide that Joe Biden won. Well, to be fair, the vice president can just give it to the person they want if some people believe that it was unfair or illegitimate. And by the way, in every election, some people believe that. That's your standard, JD Vance. But as Francesca laid out, he doesn't believe any of this. He's an opportunist. And that's, I guess, that's the best thing to be in American politics. You can go from an author who is trying to have sort of a serious life to literally a vapid, feckless senator if you simply give up all of your morals, all of your values. And he did that. And now he's got the power and influence that he wanted far more than he wanted anything having to do with the values he pretended to possess as an author.
Before we move on, just really quickly, can we just point out how hypocritical it is for him to say that big tech is in the pocket of like the Democrats or whatnot when he accepted millions of dollars from the founder of PayPal, Peter Thiel, and who like owns Palantir and one of the most creepy like tech lords there is when it comes to putting their thumb on the scale in our elections in terms of dark money and whatnot, and also rolling out some of the creepiest, most surveillance ass like technology we have. That's what I'm calling it, surveillance ass. But like, they don't, like Republicans don't see that. They always blame big tech, but all they mean is that like, you couldn't say the N-word under the old Twitter openly,
Well, and by the way, what he's alluding to there is supposedly the idea that Twitter was biased against Trump, when that's not what even the Twitter files found. And they found that Trump was trying to crack down on Democrat speech. He knows that. He doesn't care. He's gonna lie about it because he is an empty suit. With a lot more ambition than consistency or principle.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.